These tools do 80% of what you're paying your bookkeeper $1,200 a month for. And before you think I'm exaggerating, let me tell you about Sarah. She runs a Shopify store, doing about $40,000 a month in revenue. She was paying her accountant $1,400 monthly for bookkeeping, quarterly reports, and what he called a financial strategy sessions. Last month, she cut that to $200 for a quarterly review because 7 AI tools now handle everything else. Her accountant was furious, called her irresponsible, but her books have never been cleaner. Here is what nobody in the accounting industry wants you to know. The same software they use to manage 50 clients? You can access versions of it for a fraction of what they charge you per hour. And I am not talking about basic stuff like receipt scanning. I am talking about tools that automatically categorize transactions with 94% accuracy, generate profit and loss statements in real time, and one tool I will show you later that literally predicts your cash flow problems 30 days before they happen. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which 7 tools to use, how much each one costs, and the specific workflow that lets you run your finances in about 2 hours a month, instead of paying someone $2,000 to do it for you. That last tool on this list, it is the one accountants actually use themselves but never tell their clients about. The first tool is called deduction, and it is genuinely terrifying how good it is. This is not your basic QuickBooks automation. deduction uses AI to learn your specific business patterns. Feed it 3 months of transactions, and it starts categorizing everything automatically. I tested this with a client who runs a restaurant. She had 847 transactions last month across 4 bank accounts, 2 credit cards, and a Square terminal. deduction categorized 793 of them correctly without any human input. That is a 93.6% accuracy rate on the first pass. But here is where it gets interesting. The ones it was not sure about, it flagged them and asked clarifying questions. After 2 months of answering those questions, accuracy jumped to 97%. Her bookkeeper was spending 11 hours a month just on categorization. deduction does it in about 4 minutes. Now, the accountants watching this are already typing angry comments about how AI makes mistakes. And they are right. It does. But here is the thing they will not say out loud. So do bookkeepers. The difference is, deduction shows you exactly what it is uncertain about. Your bookkeeper just guesses and hopes you do not notice. Cost starts at about $250 a month for businesses under $1 million in revenue. Sounds expensive until you realize a part-time bookkeeper costs $600 minimum, and they are slower. The second tool fixes a problem you probably do not even realize you have. It is called Fathom, and it turns your accounting data into actual intelligence. Let me explain what I mean. You know how your accountant sends you a P&L statement every month, and you look at it for 30 seconds, nod like you understand it, and then immediately forget everything? That is because raw financial data is useless without context. Fathom takes your QuickBooks or Xero data and creates visual reports that actually make sense. Trend lines, comparison charts, profitability breakdowns by product or service. I worked with a consulting firm owner who discovered through Fathom that 68% of his profit came from just 2 clients, 2 out of 14. He had been spreading his team thin across all 14 because his accountant just showed him total revenue numbers. Nobody flagged that he was essentially running a charity for 12 clients. Within 90 days of seeing that visual breakdown, he fired 4 clients, raised prices on 6 others, and his profit margin went from 22% to 34%. Same revenue. Way less stress. Way more money. Fathom costs $39 a month for a single company. Your accountant charges you for the same analysis as part of their monthly retainer. The difference is, You can check Fathom every single day and see real-time data. Your accountant sends you a PDF that is already 3 weeks old. Now we get to the tool that changed everything for me personally. This is Runway Financial, and it does something that used to cost companies $10,000 or more in consultant fees. Cash flow forecasting. Real cash flow forecasting. Here is a story that still makes my stomach turn. I know a guy who ran a marketing agency doing $85,000 a month in revenue. Profitable on paper, growing fast. Then one quarter, 3 clients delayed payment by about 45 days each. Normal stuff, right? Except he had already committed to a new office lease and 2 new hires based on expected cash. Within 60 days, he was borrowing $40,000 on a personal credit card just to make payroll. His accountant told him things looked great in every monthly meeting, because on paper, they did. Cash flow told a different story. Runway connects to your accounting software and models out your cash position 30, 60, 90 days in advance. It factors in payment patterns from specific customers, seasonal trends, upcoming expenses. If 3 clients are likely to pay late based on their history, Runway shows you that gap before it becomes a crisis. The agency owner I mentioned, he uses Runway now. Last quarter, a similar situation started forming. Runway flagged it 42 days early. He adjusted, delayed a hire by 1 month, and avoided the entire problem. This is $75 a month. Compare that to what cash flow problems actually cost. If you are finding these tools valuable, hit subscribe. I drop one of these every single day, and the next video covers the tools that replace expensive marketing agencies. One more tool in this section that pairs perfectly with everything I just mentioned. If you are creating any kind of content for your business, client communications, video explainers, anything, 11 Labs at Try. 11 Labs. 2PU1 9Y92JL1 lets you generate professional voiceovers and audio content that would have cost you hundreds in studio time. This is especially useful for those financial reports you want to present to partners or investors. Things are about to move faster because these next tools are quick wins. Tool number 4 is Book AI. This one specifically hunts for errors in your books. It scans your transactions looking for duplicates, miscategorizations, and missing entries. One user found $14,000 in duplicate payments their bookkeeper had made over 18 months. The software costs $20 a month. It paid for itself about 700 times over in that single discovery. Tool number 5 is Clockify paired with Harvest for invoicing. Free time tracking that integrates with automatic invoice generation. If you bill hourly or by project, this combination eliminates the awkward end-of-month scramble where you try to remember what you worked on. I know freelancers who recovered an extra $800 monthly just because they stopped forgetting to bill for small tasks. Tool 6 is called Pry, and it is for financial planning specifically. You build out scenarios. What happens if you hire 2 people? What if revenue drops 20%? What if you raise prices 15%? The models are visual, interactive, and they update based on real data from your accounts. Tool 7, the one I promised, is called True Wind. This is what progressive accountants use internally, but bill you premium rates to access. It is AI bookkeeping that learns your business, handles reconciliation, and generates reports that look like a human CPA spent hours on them. Starting cost is around $309 a month for full service, which sounds steep until you price out what a real bookkeeper costs in a major city. Remember Sarah from the beginning? The Shopify store owner